The following program has been rated GE by the Kenya Film Classification Board. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
Hello viewer, welcome to Chungu cha Jamii. I'm your host Kate Nduati Waliaro. We are continuing with our episode 2 on challenges facing young couples in their marriages. And I'm not alone, I'm with very beautiful and very powerful ladies with me. And they are going to also introduce themselves. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello viewer, my name is Irimo Paris. I'm glad to be back to continue talking about the challenges that we as the newly wedded couple we are facing. And I'm glad that we are here today, and I hope that we can all learn together as we are talking about this topic. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here and Happy New Year. My name is Gaki Njero. I'm a relationship or marriage mentor, and I'm excited about today's topic on about the challenges facing the young couples. And as we continue to delve into this, we hope that couples that may be facing challenges will get help, and the very desire they had when they were getting married, that it was going to be a forever I do affair, that it will indeed be that. Yeah, thank you.
So thank you very much for being with me.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for also coach kujitoa mhanga msaidiange watu in this journey, because for sure it's not easy. And you see, like we had seen earlier, we had so many expectations when we got into this journey, but then without someone like you, without even maybe a platform like this where people can be enlightened on the challenges that they may expect, like you're getting to learn the many things that may come along your way. But then when these problems are spoken out, you get enlightened, and you also get solutions from the people who've gone way ahead of, where you are. So I really thank you for being here.
Thank
you. Initially we had looked at some challenges, but then we did not exhaust. Ni nyingi.
Sana.
Ni nyingi Paris.
Challenges ni nyingi.
Yeah.
Exactly, challenges.
But then again, this is the way of life. And kuna mtu anasemanga, when you pray God for strength, he does not give you strength. He gives you challenges to give you strength. So we thank God for these things because they make us stronger. They make our marriages stronger. And when we overcome, and when we have people that work with us, coaches, thank you. Thank you because without you, without people like you, it's very hard.
I agree.
Yeah, so we looked at several of these challenges, and I'm thinking another major challenge that people go through is the money challenge. Paris, umepitia shida za pesa kivipi wewe?
Well, what I can say is, I used to have my money as my money, but now I'm not alone.
Your money is your money, his money is our money.
Well, I also had that idea. I was also thinking, because many people say that. So I was thinking, for sure, when I get to marriage, my money will be my money, and his money will be our money, So I was also having, because actually, I've never heard of someone speaking of something different. They say only that.
So you subscribed to the idea before you got there?
Yeah. So when I got to marriage, it reached a point that there is a point he didn't have money, and I had money. And so I had to think, yes, people say this. However, I'm not in this marriage alone. We are two, and maybe in the future we'll be more than two. So I thought if the foundation that I'm going to build now, it will be the foundation that will bring the bigger house. So I thought maybe I don't have to go in line with what people say, because this is our family. It's not my house, it's not my life, it's our life, and it's our family, and it's our house. So if some problem comes up, it's not the problem of my husband. And it's not the problem of me alone. It's our problem. So if we solve it together, then actually it will bring us closer more. So I thought it wise not to just think of my money as my money and keep it, and yet we are having a challenge in the house. So I thought of maybe, let me chip in. Let me chip in to stop thinking that it's just my money, because I'm no longer alone. Hello, in the witness of many, in the witness of many, they know I'm no longer alone now. Wow. I'm having someone in the house.
You're one, huh?
Yeah, we are two in one in two in one. I don't know. Yeah, but we are two, but one thing. So his problems will not be his problems.
Hey, this one was actually prepared for marriage.
Well, thank God.
Yeah, but I mean, the preparation you take is very important.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Paris, congratulations.
Thank you.
But I'm thinking this is a very big challenge for many people. They're not able to do or anything when it comes to money.
Yes.
Wanaanguka hapo kabisa.
I mean, the area of money is huge as well. But again, go back to communication. What communication or what discussions have you had about money before you got into marriage? How did you agree about spending, about saving? You know, this is a thing for every couple. There is one who is a spender and there is one who is a saver. Look at any couple.
Oh, God matches two alike. This one.
And God is very wise in what he does. You will always find one has tendencies of spending more, another one has tendencies of wanting to save. So those are dynamics that play out, and that's why you have courtship, so you can know each other. But then I want to say this, when it comes to the issue of money, it's not just money, you know, liquid cash. Nowadays it's even investments, it's in the properties, it's in the what we have, the cars and all that, material things. There's a big challenge because you know, people are becoming more and more materialistic, and don't think the marriage is saved. How would I say? The marriage is not immune to those challenges. Of where people have become very extremely materialistic. Where everything, even the love that we are showing each other, is based on what you have.
What you give.
Yes, it's based on, you know, nipe nikupe, scratch my back, I scratch yours. So that has become, we have become a very materialistic society, and the marriage is suffering a lot because of that. So, like I keep repeating, marriage has to be between mature people. You have to agree. Money is not going to put us apart. And this is how we are going to spend our money. Because if you truly love somebody, you care for that person. Money is so little, as in money is the least, should be the least thing to come in between the two of you. The reason God gives us money is to meet our needs. If that money is not meeting your needs as a couple, then that money is not good for you. Because money is there to meet our needs. That's the avenue God gave us. And it doesn't have to come from the two of you. It can come from many places. You can get money from anywhere. I mean, people can bless you with money. And it comes to meet our needs. You know, whether be to buy stuff or give it to another person to also meet their need. Whichever way, money is supposed to meet needs. Money should not be used as a weapon in a marriage. Money should not be used as a manipulating tool to get something from the other person, you know. Money should be, you know, you should use money knowing that I want to meet a certain need for a certain reason, and it will always come back to me. That's why money is called the circulation. It's a circulating currency. Money should always circulate. The government is always
if you hoard for
money.
yourself, you actually have a problem,
You should always circulate. So let's begin to adjust our thinking. If you really want to run your marriage according to the patterns of God, because that's where we start from. Marriage has to be, there's a person who created marriage. Marriage has its owner. God is the owner of marriage. He is the one who instituted marriage. So if you want to run it according to its owner, then money should not be used as a weapon. Run it kulingana na the way God wants you to run it. I will also say this. The preparation you take before. Like, for example, the couples who come to my husband and myself for counseling, we try to take them through that issue of money, and we ask them very critical questions. We ask them, for example, both of you are getting married. What are your financial status at the moment? Who has a job, who doesn't have? Who has a stable income, who doesn't have, between the two of you? Suppose you get into marriage and that goes vice versa, like it's reversed. Now the one who had money doesn't have, and the one who didn't have money now has. What happens? We ask such kind of questions. We ask them, when you buy property, when the lady buys property, how are you going to write names on that property? You know, those are things we ask. We ask them, suppose today the one who had ability to get money no longer has the ability to get money. Either they are sacked, they have an accident, they are immobile, they can't work anymore. What happens? Suppose you get children and you realize you need a full-time parent, whether the man or the woman, to stay at home with the children because of probably special circumstances or unique situations. Maybe you can't even get a house girl, you know, and things like that. And you decide one of you to work, one of you to stay home. How will you distribute money in your house? Suppose the man is the one earning a lot today, and the lady decides, now I want to go into business. Will the man support the lady's business? You know, all those things. We talk about those things before marriage. But assuming you're already in it and you never discussed, you know, like wale wa situationship, look for a financial advisor. And they are there. Discuss about your money issues. Because if you don't discuss money, let me tell you, it's going to get to a point where you hear of secret accounts, bank accounts. We've seen where a man passes on, dies, and the woman has no idea whether this man had any money or stuff like that. And nowadays the government is doing unclaimed assets.
Sure. I've even heard of a case where people are living in the husband is paying rent
to a house
that belongs to the wife.
Woman. Yes. And those are situations that happen. But this is the thing with money, trust. If I can trust you with my life, why shouldn't I trust you with money?
Exactly.
I trusted you, not knowing you, to come and live in your house.
Wow, I never even thought of that.
Not knowing
if I can trust you with my life.
With my life.
Why shouldn't I trust you with my money?
Oh
my God.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
You've seen people fighting to the point of wanashikania kisu. Isn't it? Na utokangi kwa hiyo nyumba. Then when it comes to money, I can't trust you.
And yeah, that is sick. Very sick.
Yeah. Then something else I'd want to say, a challenge that's happening around the issues of money and property and material things with our young couples today that maybe was not their kitambo is this. Nowadays, the children who are getting married, let me call them children, because some of them were kids when I was getting married, they were kids, and now they've grown up. You're finding a couple is getting married, and their parents are very able. Very able. So chances are, even this wedding has been financed by their parents. Then what happens? Your parent, what are the gifts they're giving you? A plot, a car, a house. That is what is happening today. Things that were not happening during our time. Siku zetu gift ilikuwa sofa set mzuri sana. Kitanda.
Kiondo.
You know, then, so you're starting a marriage with things. You know, like
with assets.
Serious assets. Then you get married, and probably these two people hawana ati hizo jobs tipo sana. They've received such a boost from their parents to be able to start their marriage. What happens in that scenario? You see, the wameruka ile level sisi tulikuwa where we hustle together and make something together. Tulianza pale. Hawa waanzi hapa. It's no longer ati tunaanza chini, tunaenda tukibuild.
Washapangwa.
Washaanza where washaanza where I am. 12 years later is where I am, where they are starting. You the house, the nini,
they've been boosted to that fact.
Yes. So when we are looking around the issue of money today, it's very different from how we looked at money our time. So these young people now, they need to know how to handle now this property and this wealth. And their parents now need to also give them time to also learn about money for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, so that it doesn't get to one time and the young couple is fighting in the house, and now they're not even fighting about the money they have. They are saying, see, like when they kosana, wachana na gari. After all, it's my dad who gave me the vehicle on the wedding. And then the guy is like, okay, toka hao yangu, tulipewa hao na baba yangu. You know,
Wow.
it's not even what they worked for.
Yeah.
So we cannot ignore the issue of money. We have to talk about it.
Yeah.
But Pia, let people stop getting materialistic. If there's a demon we are going to pray against 2022, is that materialistic kind of lifestyle,
So-
where everything is gauged on the eyes of what you have and what I have.
So the one thing I've gotten from this, that you have to separate between you, your love, and your money. If I can trust you with my life, then even these material things, zenye tutakufa tuache, and they don't add much into who you are as a person, then people need to think about that and separate that. If I can give you my life, what else can't I give you? So, and I'm also thinking, there's also this other problem that many people, it's actually all people go through. Many people go through emotional and physical abuse. If it is not physical, sometimes it comes as emotional. Wewe umepitia hiyo?
What can I say?
Bado uko honeymoon.
I think
One man. I think, let me say this. Hurting people hurt others. For somebody to be abusing you, there's an underlying issue.
Sure.
Either insecurity or dissatisfaction or depression. You cannot just lift your hand and hit someone if there's nothing going on inside. The action of hitting somebody or using a word and abusing somebody, sio hiyo amefanya. Look at the deeper issue. It's not the action. There's something informing that decision. Yeah, kusema I'm gonna hit someone.
And I'm thinking, Coach, there are people who have been socialized in ways where they grow up learning that whenever you're angry and people don't agree with you, you become aggressive.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying it is coming from somewhere. Anger issues or upbringing. Depending on how someone has been brought up, some people, for example, have been brought up seeing their fathers abusing their mothers. So the sons in that home, they grow up knowing that abuse is normal. And in fact, some people want to, ignorant people, I call them, want to say that that's how you discipline a wife, through beating them.
I've heard that people say.
Yeah, their cultures, I believe, if you don't hit your woman, you're not disciplining her.
Even women who will say that he does not hit me, so he doesn't love me.
He doesn't love me. Very, very true. Very true.
Yeah.
And I want to say this. For a woman who feels their husband doesn't love them because hajagongwa, that woman already tells, that action alone tells you this woman has some insecurities within her. There's some self-esteem issue. There's some acceptance issue happening within her heart. For a man who feels that he has to discipline a woman, that person is insecure. Such kind of a man is insecure. And he feels the only way I can validate my authority and rubber stamp my masculinity is when I hit a woman. I always tell such men, a woman is not your equal. Look for your equal. When them compete na yeye, fight na yeye, then that's where you will rubber stamp your masculinity. Ukishinda mwanaume mwenzako. Because beating a woman is unfair because you want to show your masculinity. She's feminine. She's not masculine. Look for a masculine person. A lion and a lion fighting. Mwenye atashinda hapo tutajua sasa who is the king. But not a man and a woman. I mean, it can be the opposite way. So, physical abuse is something. The source, there's always a source, there's always a trigger. And it's interesting because sometimes these are characteristics that you may not see in someone when you're in courtship or when you're boyfriend, girlfriend, until probably sometimes you get into marriage. That's when you see the true colors showing up. And this is what I say about abuse of any kind. Do not keep quiet. Do not keep quiet. Abuse is something you may not be able to handle it with abuser, like with that spouse
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Because they may not hear you, because first of all, for them to be abusing you, they are not in their right minds. So reasoning with them, it's like reasoning with a drunkard. Even the Bible says, if you're quarreling with a madman, and I pass by, I won't know who's the madman and who's not the madman.
Yeah.
So reasoning with such a person may not help.
It's true.
But then you can look for a third party to help. The worst thing you can do is to keep quiet. I know many people have been told, oh, emotional abuse, it's ni ya kujitafutia, oh, I don't know, how can you gauge that it's emotional abuse? If anything if someone is abusing you emotionally, what they are seeking to do is to lower down your self-esteem.
Sure.
Character assassination. That's something they are looking to do to destroy your character. That is an abuse. Because nimekukosea. Why don't we address the makosa, stop assassinating my character, and stop saying I'm toxic. I may not be toxic, nikukukosea tu nimekukosea. You know, such things. So seek for help. Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody about it and relate or explain your situation and let this person help you. At the end of the day, the decision maker is you. Whether you want to continue living an abused life, you want to continue living within that environment of toxicity, you have to make that decision.
And coach, I'm thinking kuna watu pitia this kind of situation. At first, maybe let's use the case of a woman. She's emotionally abused to a point where this lowers her self-esteem.
Yes.
She even does not know how even to defend herself any longer. Then it gets to a point where it gets physical.
Yes.
Already, first of all, her self-esteem is no longer there. It's dead. Then she's hit over and over again to a point where maybe she sees this man as her sort of a god, that chenye amesema ni hivyo.
Some form of
How
abuse.
do you help such a person to get even to regain maybe back her self-esteem?
Yeah. So, some form of abuse, for some people, they will want to instill fear. That's why you're saying they treat you as an idol. Because that man knows anytime I instill fear on this person, they will worship me or they will bow to me. And I said, such men, all they are seeking to do, they are addressing an insecurity issue in their life.
Wow.
And if it has gotten to the point where there is emotional abuse constantly, and then now it has started becoming physical, and the environment is very toxic, and this person is now even going to levels of depression. And you know, a lot of depression leads to suicide. When it starts getting to such high levels of abuse, it's sometimes, depending with who is dealing with this particular couple, sometimes you have to remove that person, the abused person, from that kind of an environment, even if it is for a short time, okay? To be able to handle the conflicts that are bringing, you know, all this abuse and stuff like that. That person has to, because look, at the end of the day, what's the value of having a marriage with two wounded people? There is no point. What are you building there? What glory are you giving to God? You'd rather withdraw one person or withdraw the two people let them come out from that toxic environment. Let treatment take place. Treatment of any kind. If it's a counselor, if it's treatment for the depression, treatment for the abuse, let that take place. Let them go through the healing process, and then reconciliation can start and mediation, bringing these people back together, if there is room. Sometimes the damage is too bad. It's affecting even the children. And by the way, the children are the ones who suffer.
I think that's why we can see patterns of people being very toxic these days.
Yes.
People even doing, you know, taking suicide.
Yes.
You know.
Because of that toxic environment and that abusive environment.
Yeah.
So sometimes with removing that person from that environment is very, very important. Help them until to the point where they can be able to stand on their feet, especially where self-esteem is an issue. And I don't want to say that this is only for women. I want to say this even for men.
Sure.
In recent times, we are seeing more men getting affected because probably you've lost your job, and the woman has not lost her job, but she keeps abusing you, and some women are also getting physical.
Sure.
You know, and you know, for men, once they get to such levels of being abused, they'll wallow in drinking and things like that. And we are there thinking, oh, this guy became a drunkard. But what was the root cause? Probably there's some abuse going on at home. So let's look for those sources. And if the abuse has gotten to such serious cases, I mean, levels where, you know, there's depression and it's constant, and someone needs to now come into the picture. You cannot keep quiet. Saa zile tulikuwa tunaambua, in my dialect, I'll use that word, naambua motumia. Motumia is a woman. And it is because she's motumia, because her work is to gotumia. You keep quiet. You know, you put everything inside. You bottle it up, you bottle it up. Then the day she explodes, there is fire. So nowadays, let people talk, and let people handle those things.
And even when the relationship is young, like hers, when you notice these red flags, start addressing them, addressing the insecurities that are deep within you, and even allowing your partner to realize this. So we're going to have a short break, and we'll be back with more.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, viewer. We are continuing with our conversation on challenges facing young couples in their marriages. And I'm joined with by very beautiful ladies, and we are flowing with this conversation. Do keep your comments coming and your questions on our SMS line, 21144. So as before we went to for the break, we were looking at the different challenges that we do have. And I'm thinking, Paris, wacha hizi kubwa kubwa unasikia. Ni gani wewe umepitia so far?
Okay, there is one also bigger one, which, okay, to me, I can see it as big. And maybe there is someone else out there who is facing it. You know, when you get married, there is the expectation from the society that on the wedding night, kuna kitu ili happen. So they expect to get results. And every time you're working, someone is asking, oh, we want to see results, you know. So like the peer pressure from the outside, it becomes too much. So like maybe your family members also want to know the results. Have you tested? Have you tested? Is it negative? Is it positive?
Oh my God.
Hello.
Leave the young couples alone.
Sometimes I'm even tempted to think, wait, is this what is marriage? You know, like there is so much pressure from the society, especially when they know, like, how long have you been to marriage, you know, and maybe they know how you were reacting during your menstruation. So they tend to know, like, why are you behaving like this? This you happen to, you know.
They're so like, timing on you.
Yeah, so there is, I see it as a challenge. Yeah, it's such a challenge to get all this pressure, and you don't know how to handle it at once, because you may think you have handled it with someone, and then out of nowhere, another ask, another, come on.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe the coach can tell us how to handle with this.
Pressure for married couples is a lot. It's not just that you're asking whether you've conceived on the night of your wedding. The pressure is a lot.
Sure.
And I always say this, we are Africans. Africans are very communal. Well, now we are losing that value, which I think was a good value, where we are very communal. Like everything we do, ni ya muhiriga yote, ni ya watu wote, you know, everything is for everyone. The whole clan is involved.
Yeah.
So we are very, very communal. And that is why you find some of these pressures coming, all the questions and things like that. You know what? You just have to wear a good attitude. You know, be like, you know, when it happens, you will see, you know, and you will know.
And when God allows, because it's not on you.
And don't put it into your heart. Because if you put that one into your heart, wait the day now, you actually now conceive and you're like 5 months, we won't stop asking, is it a boy or a girl?
Yes.
Just
Oh my
dance.
God.
By the time Tana, you're almost giving birth. Have you booked the hospital? Which hospital? You start
Have you
saying,
bought
that
clothes?
hospital is not nice. This one
I
is nice.
see.
Which doctor? No. It never stops. You just have to decide within yourself that when the questions come, I'll just give an answer that protects me and my husband.
Yeah.
Because those questions will not stop coming.
Actually.
By the time now you're even finishing this first baby, by the time anagonga 1 year, now unaleta mwingine lini, when,
Wow,
those questions
the
will
pressure
never,
keeps
because
coming
we
in.
are very communal as Africans.
Okay.
We don't know how to mind our business.
Actually, that's true. Very true.
We kind of don't know how to really truly mind our business. So those things will keep coming. But also there are other pressures. For example, like you said, peer pressure. My husband and I, we call it the rat race, where you've seen couples have achieved this, you also want to achieve. Others have achieved this, you want to achieve. Run your race. Don't do the rat race. Run the race set before you by God. And the journey for your marriage cannot be the same as another marriage.
Wow, I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Run your race.
Yeah.
Yako peke yako na mtu wako. See a society.
Yeah,
Very
sure.
Because you can die trying to please everyone.
Yes.
And you will be very disappointed,
Yes,
you know.
very true.
Wow, that's so nice. Kitu ingine coach inasumbua watu sana. Huyu mrembo wetu hajapata hii bado. Because when people get married and then babies, or actually when they start living together, sijui kwa nini watu huanza kugain weight. Wewe ngoja unaanza kugain weight.
Wow.
Kabla even the babies come. I don't know, you start gaining weight, you're still cool with that, your partner is cool with that. Wait until the babies come, you pop 1, pop 2, pop 3.
Okay.
Hey, mwili inabadilika. You're no longer the person that you were, even physically, spiritually, you've changed. Everything has changed. How do people handle this? Because unapata, it's such a major challenge that unasikia mtu akisema, she's so fat, she's no longer the girl I'm married. He's so like this, he's no longer the person. He's always busy, he's always that, but it's because of the life yenye tumeanza, imekufanya, umekuforce you change. But people don't know how to handle this.
Yeah. Let me say, when getting married, it's good, you know, change is inevitable.
Yes, amen to that.
And it's going to take place. And not now even with weight only, but all round. Change comes. And I think on the issue of weight gain, it's something, it's an expectation. You know, one of those wrong expectations we were talking about that people have.
Yeah.
That this is how she's going to remain for the rest of her life, or that's how he's going to remain for the rest. It's good to leave that open. Some of these things, leave them open. So the hormones end up, you know, acting up. You didn't know that kuna kitu kama hiyo. So the hormones act up and then you realize, oh, the weight again is coming.
Yeah.
But also, you get comfortable. And this happens also for the men.
Yeah.
This man, remember most single men, it's turungi and bread. Now he's gotten someone who makes 3 square meals a day, probably 2 or 3 courses. And so they are eating healthy. They are eating well. So definitely the body will change. But what should happen is this. Do not imagine that you do not imagine that change will not happen. This is just weight. Weight, people can work on weight. Somebody said, when you're getting into marriage, or even when you're in marriage, always work on the things, put more effort on the things that cannot change than the things that can change. Weight can change. Sasa upigie debe, weight, unanona nini, na ile siku itaisha, utateta about nini tena. But there are things that should never change. For example, love. Limia hiyo love. Limia communication. You know, work for the communication. Because that one, it is there with you to stay. So work on the things that cannot change. Measure on them, the fixed things. Hizi variables, they will come and go. And then accept someone the way they are. Like we said about money, if I can trust you with my life, what is money? Same to this. Did you marry me for the weight or not? But I also give a disclaimer and say this. That is not reason to be careless.
Yeah.
It is not reason to be careless and not look after yourself. Look after yourself. Do a walk. If you can't go to the gym, walk.
Yeah. Even eat well.
Eat well. Do those exercises. Don't do ugali, and then expect things will. I mean, do balanced meals. And you know, like for us ladies, you'll find sana the kitchen department is upon us.
Yeah.
How you organize your kitchen in as far as the meals are concerned. That's what the family will adopt. So if you want to change,
So it's actually upon us.
it's upon us,
Because
ladies.
inapatanga, kuna point inafikanga, you hata ukipumua weight inakuja tu.
And that is why, like for me, I had to start, I think sometime last year or so, to just be walking, do regular walks.
Yeah.
At least you'll know the weight may not be going so much like you want, but you are becoming a healthier
But you're
person.
proactive towards
Yes, and
checking
you're
your
taking
health.
an active role
Yeah.
in watching your health and watching your weight and stuff like that. So it's good, but that should not be something we beat each other about with my husband.
Yeah.
I'ma use that to abuse each other and lower each other's self-esteem. No, if at all we have to talk about our weight, it's from a point of concern. By the way, I realized tukipanda stairs, kuna vile ulikuwa una hema, ebu we start running together every morning, you know, or something. Use that weight loss journey as also a way of bonding between the two of you.
Sure.
Don't use that to pull each other down. Yeah.
Paris unapata mapointers kutoka kwa coach.
Because actually it was something I was thinking about, and actually I was asking my husband on the same, because I tend to see, even especially on my sisters. My sister was the one that that is just ahead of me. She was such a slender girl. But when she gave birth to her firstborn, she just
Ballooned.
I was also very slender. And I was then something happened. You know, for me, actually, I keep looking at people giving birth.
Sorry?
And I keep telling them what they need to eat. And I tell them, don't be lied to. You eat vile utataka. Don't be told, because me I was told it's njahe all the time. So you do njahe, you do soup, uji. As in your table is always full, as you know, as a breastfeeding mother. But it doesn't have to be like that. Nowadays I'm wiser, you know. You know what to eat, and you can watch what you're eating. Yeah, you can watch what you're eating. But again, if peradventure the weight comes, that should not be the point of contention. Honestly, you have a baby you're looking after. That baby is more important than the weight you're gaining.
Acha niwachekesha, mimi nilipitwa hosi.
okay.
Yes.
Like he didn't know it's you?
No, he, not him. My family didn't know it's me. They left a slender girl, slender than you. And then here I've ballooned. They came to Hosi, and I'm seated there. They passed by me.
Because it couldn't be you.
Oh my God.
So anyway, these things do
Changes
happen.
of life.
But I think we need to change our mindset. These things, be expectant of them, but still, like she said, mtu asikuwe careless.
And also don't be obsessed. No, we can also be too obsessed with how our physical look is. Don't be obsessed, because that's also going to hit very hard on you when you realize.
It's a mental case.
Yeah, it's going to be another stressor. Remember, we are working towards removing all the stressors in our lives. So don't be obsessed about how you look, how the weight remaining so slender. I know someone personally, a personal friend, who the girl got a baby, and she refused to breastfeed the child. Yes, because she said, I don't want my boobs to sag. Yeah, there are people who are like that. And so you're married. So your husband is like, what nonsense is this?
Gosh.
Yes.
I've heard of even where...
Sometimes it can be an obsession. Yeah.
Where even
really
someone will
like
choose to go for CS instead of normal.
Because they don't want, you know,
To spoil
they
the...
imagine it.
Gosh.
And you see, those are the misconceptions that, and the myths, because honestly,
Paris, have you thought of these things?
I was actually asking, especially on the sagging of the boobs, because I have heard of many people also talk about it. Like if I had someone say, I don't want to give birth to so many children because my boobs would sag if I give birth to many. And
Have you seen nuns?
Well,
Have you seen older nuns?
Let me tell you, you see now where I'm talking of obsession, because all this, you know, lies and myths,
Yeah.
it's just an obsession. The human body is being glorified too much. And you know, we always need to keep our flesh under submission.
Yeah.
Why am I putting all that, you know, all those lies just to look good on the outside, whereas my inside is empty? Because for somebody to say, I don't want to have children because I don't want my boobs to sag, you're very selfish. What's the problem with having many children? God wants you to bring those children on the earth. Stop being selfish, you know?
There's
Because
also
of
an
just a
insecurity in there, because
Yes.
it's like this body as it is, you know, finally it will age.
Yes. So let
Yeah.
people be sober-minded and be very real.
And find the right information.
Yeah, and even if she doesn't get babies today, at India, the boobs not to sag.
Eventually,
Those boobs will sag when she's 90.
pull of gravity will work.
and
Yeah,
maybe,
the law of gravity would definitely.
and maybe you can also maybe give advice to the men out there. I don't know whether there is a point for them, because also you find gents tend also to have also that perspective.
Yeah.
Like I love you because you have this flat tummy or
Yeah.
this shape of the body, you know. And when you change, what about when you change? Will you still love me the way I am?
Watu waache kukua selfish. Men out there, you loved this woman and you knew, you know biology, at least you know biology, that the body changes. So if you've taken the path of marriage, take it wholly with the changes that come with it.
Sure.
And be an encouragement to this woman. Because even that other woman you're thinking is better out there, that other woman you're thinking is better out there, even her body will also change.
Sure.
You know, the Bible says we are like flowers. Yeah. So there's always a time for change. So let people stop being selfish. And if I truly love you, honestly, you're in love with who I am.
Yeah.
Everything. You take me there as I am, whether with the changes or not. But what you can do as a wise man is encourage the woman. You know, if
And
you
take care
realize
of
things are
her.
getting out of proportion, what are you doing as her husband? By the way, she's that way because of you. Because when you found her single, she had not changed. How come she's changing now that she's married? Meaning you have a part to play in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you have a part to play in it. It is your babies she's getting. So encourage her.
There's
Encourage
this lost phrase that people use, that grass is always greener on the other side. But the truth is, grass is always greener where it's watered.
Yes.
So take care of your person.
And don't be tempted to see the grass greener on the other side. It could be a swamp.
It's true.
Yeah.
So you go in there and you go down with all your legs.
So what are
Could
yours?
be a
What
swamp.
are yours?
Be careful. Yeah.
Wow, Paris,
Yeah.
I'm loving this.
I'm loving it too.
This.
You know, I was also thinking of another challenge. There are people who tend to, like I was talking about discovery, there are people who tend to hide their nature. And because of the courting, and we want to be good to each other, hutaki kumkasirisha, he also don't want to do the same on you, you know. So we tend to, if I make a mistake, I'll even apologize even before you talk about it. But come to the marriage, you find it maybe different. Yes, I have done a mistake, but I don't want to accept it as a mistake. I want maybe to justify myself. I want to say I did this because of this and this and this, you know. Maybe it, not only also on the men's side, also on the ladies' side. So we tend not to accept like we have done a mistake. Like, yes, we have done it, but we don't want to go direct to the point that, for sure I have done this, forgive me, or maybe we talk about it like this, you know. Yeah, maybe, I don't know what coach you have to say about that.
Okay. Before you get, when you decide you want to get married, please pray. Tell God to guide you, to order your steps, to open your eyes,
It's true.
to see red flags, or to see things that that they may not be easily caught with the human eye. Because sometimes God will speak to you, with a very still, small voice. God will always warn you about something, such that when you get into marriage, you won't be like, oh, sikuona hiyo, sikuona hii, sikujua ako hivo, Pray that God will guide you. And also when you're in courtship, do not hide this fiancé to yourself. Go to places with him, meet friends, meet family. Something you're not seeing another person may see. And if if that friend loves you genuinely, they will warn you, or they will tell you, by the way, sikuona nani akikuongelesha vizuri, mbona anakuinulia sauti sana. That's a red flag. Maybe sasa sahi anakuinulia sauti, when you get into marriage, he'll actually now hit you, know.
True.
But also, because I said marriage is for two adults, consenting adults, a man and a woman, be mature enough to display yourself as you are, even in courtship. Don't give people surprises. You wouldn't want to be surprised. Also, don't give people surprises. Be yourself. Let the person you're dating know, this is who I am. It will save you trouble. It will save you heartache. And we want to be real.
Yeah.
Like I said, values are, people are degrading in values and morals and all that. But we want to go back to that place whereby if it's an axe, it's an axe. If it's a spade, it's a spade and not a big spoon. Be yourself. It will heal marriages. We will have marriages lasting longer.
Yeah. Now, because of time, I'm going to allow you to give your parting shot. I think this discussion is too sweet. We need to have it longer and longer, because I see there are so many other points that we've not talked about: intimacy, infidelity. There are all these points that we need to talk about. So briefly, give your parting shot.
Thank you. First is to thank you for hosting me again. And what I can say, I have taken home one key point, is that we put more pressure on the things that will never end. For example, like love and communication. These things will be there with us till forever. But these things that are just coming and ending, we need to put pressure on it, but not as much as the things that are not ending. So thank you so much also for joining us today. I'm glad that I was here as your guest. Really.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. My parting shot is this. I want to emphasize on the issue of post-marital counseling or post-marital coaching, whatever you may want to call it. Looking for counsel when you're already in marriage doesn't mean you're in trouble. And it is not for those who are fighting or having issues in their marriage. Please, if you're out there, get people you can work with. If it's a group or an individual or a couple that you can work with, that you can keep talking about the issues around marriage and to enrich yourselves in marriage. Let people work with one another to enrich those marriages. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much for being with me. And thank you, viewer, for being with us all along. I'm sure you've gained a lot. For me, there's a lot that we've had, that we focus on the things that are unending, like love and all that. Then water the grass where you are. Don't look at the outside. It might be a swamp that will be waiting to swallow you. So these challenges are there. Now you are aware of them, and there is more. But as we move on, let's work together with coaches, with counselors, so that we can have our marriages solid and we can be happy and create a heaven here on earth. So thank you very much for being with us. Bye-bye.